Hey, this is Betsy with Veg Setter, and I am so excited to talk to you today about EFT tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. This is long overdue. Honestly, I have been, in terms of social media and sharing what I do, I have been hiding behind the camera. I've been hiding behind my laptop. I've been hiding behind my phone. And it is time for me to share content with you that can potentially shift and absolutely change your life. And that is something that EFT has done for me, and it's done so for thousands and hundreds of thousands of people around the world, maybe even millions. And every time I share this, I feel like the world is getting a little brighter, a little lighter, a little bit more self-empowered. And that is what I am all about, self-empowered wellness. If you know me, if you know what I'm passionate about, I am first and foremost passionate about making the world a more compassionate place. That is what drives me. This mission started because I stopped eating animals, and I did so because I really, once I understood what they go through and what it means for me to eat the products and byproducts of their bodies, what that is doing to them. Once I really understood that, I couldn't participate in that any longer. I knew I was responsible. If I was making a choice to purchase animal food for myself and eat it, I knew that I was paying somebody to torture and kill an animal. And I'm not going to go down this road in much more detail than that, but I do feel it's really important that I am very transparent about the fact that I started shifting the way I ate. Actually, I didn't shift. I, on a dime, stopped eating meat because of compassion. And that, from there, changed my life dramatically. And I started going down this road of health and research and study about the powerful healing effects of a whole food plant-based diet, and life has never been the same. But compassion is also something that we have for ourselves, or a lack of it. And so many of us today, and women in particular, are very self-critical, very self-judging, and we're harsh on ourselves. And sometimes we beat ourselves up, and often we might beat ourselves up with our conscious thoughts and our subconscious thoughts. And I am more about being kind to ourselves, because with that self-compassion, amazing healing can happen, and your life can shift in ways that you could never have even imagined. So enter EFT tapping. When I learned about this tool and really started implementing it into my life, I understood the power of it. And as time went by and working with people nutritionally, I realized that this was a tool that really could help shift people into a healthier lifestyle. Because often what holds us back, what limits us, are our cravings, our habits, and our thinking around what a painful thing it is to make healthy shifts and habits in our life. And it doesn't have to be painful. Tapping works with your energy system, so you actually can work very rapidly to make changes in your life and to shift your consciousness or your feeling from one moment to the next. So the basics of tapping, the best way for me to describe it is modern psychology meets ancient Chinese medicine, in that we are accessing the energy system of our body and the meridians of our body, and the acupressure points of acupuncture, Chinese medicine. The first thing we are going to do, if we are working on a challenge that we are facing, which is one way to implement tapping. There are many uses for tapping and many ways to implement it. But if we have a challenge in our life, for example, we are craving a food that we are trying to stay away from, we have to acknowledge that challenge, and then we want to rate it. So let's say the challenge that's presenting is, I really want a cheeseburger. I really want a cheeseburger, but I am adopting a whole food plant-based diet for 21 days. 21 days so I can experience what this way of eating feels like and what it may do for me to improve my life. And in doing so, you know, I am going to go through a level of discomfort. And how do I overcome that? Tapping is a great tool for doing just that. So let's say this cheeseburger craving is like a 10. Like you are starving, you are driving down the road, and you see your favorite fast food joint, and you really want to whip in for that cheeseburger. What are you going to do? How are you going to overcome the present moment and reach for something greater? And that craving is a 10. All right, so we're going to pull over because we need our full attention on this, and we want to be safe, right? So we've already assessed this craving is a 10 on a scale from 0 to 10. The SUDS score, or subject units of distress, is a 10. All right, so now we're going to start with the tapping sequence, the basic recipe, which always starts on the karate chop point. And this is a very powerful point. I believe it's called the triple warmer point in Chinese medicine or in acupressure. It sends electrical charges through our body. So when we are tapping on a particular point, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the area of the body we're tapping on. It has to do with the area of the body that tapping interfaces with. And we are energy. So we are moving energy through our body when we're tapping. And what's amazing when we are tapping is that we are also and primarily calming our energy system down and sending a calming signal to the amygdala, which is an organ in our brain. And amygdala is responsible for fight or flight. And when you are in a state of distress, and maybe the state of distress we're talking about is a craving, but it feels like a 911 emergency, your fight or flight responses could be engaged, and you're feeling the stress of this thing that you want, that you're trying to resist. So cortisol is something that your amygdala releases into your body, and studies have shown that tapping these meridian endpoints can reduce the amount of cortisol in your body within moments. So back to the basic recipe. We acknowledge what the challenge is after rating it. And the challenge is we have a craving. And we want to accept ourselves wherever we are at relative to our challenge, because self-acceptance is where transformation begins, on the small scale and on the large scale. So let's begin. I'm just going to jump right in and take you through a tutorial, and maybe we can break some of this stuff down more later if that's something you're interested in hearing more about. So, regarding this craving that I have for a cheeseburger, even though I have this overwhelming craving for a cheeseburger right now, and I am starving, I choose to relax and let it go. And even though I have this overwhelming craving for a cheeseburger right now, and it is really stressing me out because I am really thinking about caving, I completely accept myself and how I feel. And even though I really, really, really want this cheeseburger right now, I'm just going to love myself. I love myself and accept myself and how I feel. And now we're going to move into the rest of the meridian points for the basic recipe. The first one being the eyebrow point, which is where the hair of your eyebrow starts. The next point is side of eye, right on the corner of the eye here. We're using 2 fingers, and we can tap on either side of the body. It really doesn't matter. Or we could tap on both sides of the body. And the next point is under the eye, on the orbital bone, just under the pupil. Under the nose. Chin point, kind of in the crease here. Collarbone point. It's where the two bones are right here. Go down an inch, out an inch. I use about 4 fingers. I like to tap all around this area just to make sure I get it. This is a very powerful point. We hold a lot of trauma here. And then under the arm, it's about where the bra line is for women. You can give yourself a bear hug if you want to and tap both sides at the same time. And the top of the head. So the psychology with tapping comes in where we continue to verbalize the challenge that is presenting, not to drive it in to our body, not to download it further, but to give it release, to be able to detox it from us. So let's acknowledge this craving. Oh my gosh, this craving. This craving for this cheeseburger. I can't believe I committed to 21 days without eating any animal foods. It's so overwhelming. I know it's just 21 days, but I really want this cheeseburger now. I really, really have this craving. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can overcome this. This has really got a hold on me. This has really got a hold on me. But maybe I can let it go. Maybe I can just relax now. I mean, who's in control here? I don't have to go hungry. There's so many different foods I can choose from. Maybe it's just something I think I need. Maybe I don't really have this craving anymore. Maybe I can let it go. Maybe I can reach for something better. Something that will nourish my body. A better choice. A better decision. Deep breath. So we started off really acknowledging what the challenge was. And as you go through tapping, you may really very quickly often notice that you relax. And that may be in the form of taking a deep breath. Yawning is something that I see really often. That's a classic sign that there's a shift in your body. And when you notice a shift in your body, then you can start bringing in the positive. You know, the positive reinforcements. The question of what is the alternative? What is something else that I could reach for? And it is something that you really can't make a mistake. You can't do wrong when you're tapping. As long as you're tapping the meridian points, you are making a positive shift in your energy system, in your fight or flight system, relaxing the body. So you really can't do it wrong, but there are ways to do it more powerfully. And typically what we do is when we have a challenge, we do a few rounds of tapping, and then we check in with ourselves again and see, how far did that craving come down? Did that craving that was at a 10, did that go like to a 0? Did it just like leave me just like that? I've seen it happen. Did it come down gradually? Maybe not completely leave me, but now it's at like a 3 or a 4. And any shift you make in that direction is a shift towards wellness. It's a shift towards self-empowered wellness, giving you a solid foundation from which to make healthy decisions. And then we can tap all the positive stuff in. So I would love to know your comments, your curiosity, and know, is this something that you've ever tried or would be interested in trying? And if you are, I always offer a free consultation if we haven't worked together before. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know, leave a comment in the box or private message me and we'll get something set up. Have a great day and thanks for watching.